Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Got This in Black. This is the show where we like to highlight dope Black creatives, democratize fashion, educate as, we're still learning. My name is Chukwunwike, and to my left is the better half of the podcast, and Dima. How are you doing today?
Doing lovely. Well, I was saying, let me be honest. I'm doing okay, and I'm making my way towards thriving, and that's okay.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
I'm just embracing the process.
Okay.
But of course, like you said, this has Got This in Black. You guys know we're on all the social media platforms. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And of course, you can watch the podcast on YouTube if you're like, you want to watch the fits and see what we're wearing and whatnot. Or you can also find us on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, all the little podcasty places. And just so you know, if you follow us on social media, you know that like we engage with you like as a conversation. So feel free to let us know if you want to hear something or want us to interview a specific guest. Like we are very open to recommendation.
Yep. And so before we get started, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share on all those platforms Dima mentioned. We're back again with another virtual episode. So our first virtual episode was with a photographer named Tyler Jr. And now we got another special guest coming all the way from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. We have Franklin Moss. How are you doing today, Frank?
Hello. I'm doing good.
That's good.
Outside of this mucus that's stuck in my throat, I'm great.
That's great. So Frank is like a Swiss Army knife. He does a lot. He's like a Clothier. He's a community man. You're like a modern day Renaissance man. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
To hear that makes me feel really good. I can honestly tell you that I've ever since 1998. I have tried to build myself into being a Renaissance man. So that was the time I saw Love Jones. Just let you know. So when I saw it, I was like, "Hey, Love Hall." I love what he does. So that was something I can say I've kind of inspired to be. But a little bit about myself. I come initially from the music world. Used to be a rapper, and going through rapping, owning a record label, that has moved me into fashion because fashion was my passion as well. And from fashion, I went into the runway world, and then from the runway world into bespoke suits, clothing. So I guess that's the first part of me.
Frank,
I answered more.
Can I ask a quick question? Yes. Can you let the people know what your rap name was? They can look you up.
My rap name was Quite Frank, and that's also my social media handles. I've been Quite Frank since 2001, and so I've just tried to build a brand off of it. So any social media platform, if you type in Quite Frank, you'll find me.
Got you. Okay, so we're definitely going to get into your story more, but before we even get to that, let's get into what we have on. So having someone who's a clothier is even more important to document the fits that we have, going on. So, Dima, if you want to start, tell us a little bit about your fit today.
Yeah, so I'm just a little simple today. I'm leaning into the cargo pant trend, which I actually really love because I like a loose fit. I probably would have gotten even looser with these. But these are from Rivers Wild. Okay. They're a local brand in the DMV area. Shout out to them.
Yes.
Also representing, I think, Nigeria and, don't quote me on this. I want to say Cameroon. Somewhere, the two West African countries that they represent, which is really freaking dope. And then I got, y'all know I never know the Nike names. These are
Air Maxes.
Gold. Okay.
Gold Air Maxes.
Gold Air Maxes.
I myself is blanking on the year though. I think they're Air Max 2000s. I think they're Air Max 2000s.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I think those.
Y'all let me know in the comments. And one day,
if I got the year wrong, don't get mad at me.
One day I'll learn about sneakers. I just was like, they look cool. I want to wear them. That's normally how it goes for me.
Yeah, and that's fine. As long as you like what you're wearing, that's really all that matters. Like you're not trying to be a sneakerhead. So
true.
yeah.
Okay, good. Let's ask Frank, what you got
on? As usual, I have I'm either in two things. I'm either in sweats or I'm in Franklin Anthony. So today I'm wearing a Franklin Anthony pink pinstripe shirt and some denim Franklin Anthony jeans with some Franklin and Anthony suede loafers and socks. And this is a local hat company. Well, shop called Morgan Mercantile, and this is their 817 hat, which is our area code. So,
okay,
nice. Say the name of the brand again.
This is Morgan Mercantile. But they're not black owned, so I just put that out there first.
It's still dope.
Yeah, it's still pretty dope.
Yeah.
It's dope. Yeah, it's dope. I still throw that out there just in case.
Yeah. Got you.
Appreciate the disclaimer. Chuck,
so
about you?
I don't know the brands of what I have on. This is just, it's shopping for work. You go in the store, I go to either K&G or Men's Warehouse, and I just buy what happens to be in there. But I am literally suited and booted today because I had surgery on my foot a couple months ago. So I'm in the recovery process. So I actually don't need to technically wear the boot now, but the shoes that I ordered that my podiatrist approved haven't come in yet. So I'm in the boot until they come in. And I think they actually are supposed to come in today. So I think after today, technically I won't be in the boot, but I'm suited and booted. Adema gets to laugh because in our first season, she was in a boot for like 5 episodes and we made fun of her. So it's all's fair.
Sweet.
Yeah, and then this suspenders I got from the thrift store. Shout out to Fei Mancho of Favorite Gems. She is a upcycler. So whenever she goes to the thrift store, luckily we have that relationship where if she sees something that she thinks that I'll like, she'll send me a picture and then she'll get it for me. So she got these. She got these for me because I was prepping for a Roaring 20s party. So I wanted to do suspenders for that party. So now they've come in handy, but I do have a pair of Zella Fermani socks. So, that's a DC brand. So keep it that. And then some Nike Cortez to balance out the boot, and a hat I got from when I was in Nigeria in Anambra State in the Onitsha Market. So a couple black owned things going on in the mix with my work clothes. So, but yeah, that is what I have.
I will say that sorry, go ahead, Frank.
I was just I had a question. Are these clip-on suspenders or are they braces?
They are clip-on.
Okay.
What is braces?
I'm going to challenge you to try braces.
Okay.
So braces clip-ons are the actual clips, so they clip to the pants. Mm-hmm. Braces are the ones that fasten to the buttons.
Oh, I've seen those with they're like little loops almost, and then it's like, ooh, those are flat.
Yeah. Okay. And you fasten that in. Okay. It elevates the whole suspended look.
Got you. See, this is why we have you on, okay? We need to talk some good men's fashion. Like
Frank, what do you think about women wearing suspenders?
I'm not against it. I don't see anything wrong with it. The only thing, it just depends on the woman. Mm-hmm. Some women don't like to bring attention to their breast. And suspenders is always going to bring attention to the breast.
Yeah.
So it's just about what your comfort level is.
Right.
Got you.
Okay.
I feel like you were about to say something before.
Oh, what I was going to say was just that, like, I feel like this is the Chuck's look that, like, I feel like I love the most. Like, he does dressing up very, very well. He's a dapper dude.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from somebody that's known me since the age of 13. So.
Oh, that's legit. That's extra legit.
Yes. Okay, so All right, so to start off the day, we're actually going to start something new. So this is a segment. We haven't really named it. We can call it yes or no, but being a Clothier, somebody who's really knowledgeable about clothes in general, we have a couple of questions. I asked some of my male friends, I'm like, I got somebody who's a Clothier, as a tailor coming on. You got any like male fashion questions? And they gave me a couple. So we're just going to ask you. It's just going to be a quick yes or no.
Yes, sir.
So that works?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So the first one. So somebody asks, are we still doing mule loafers?
Yes.
Yes. I was surprised by this question because I'm like, when did mule loafers ever go out of style? Like, I love mule loafers, actually. I have a pair myself.
Well, I'm not a fan of mule loafers.
So you're not a fan of mule loafers. Gotcha.
I'm not a fan, but they are still relevant.
Okay.
And people still wear them.
So why don't you like mule loafers? I love to hear this.
I'm not 100% sure. I guess it's just
the look.
Go ahead. Yeah. So let me see, because I know there's different variations, and I've seen very few that I've been like, oh, okay, but yeah, I don't.
Frank, can I tell you who?
It's not.
Who?
Go ahead.
Mule loafers remind me of. They remind me of just Nigerian men, and you live in Texas. You probably.
It really does, because I was trying not to say that.
Hey, we keep it 100 on this pod. It's cool. Yeah, my Nigerian men do love some mule loafers. I'm not gonna hold you.
My Nigerian brothers, that's what I see a lot. But I mean, people love the the Gucci look and that
with
extra
the fur, the
on
ones with the fur on them.
It's a bit much for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not really a fan of. It's not. So it reminds me. So there's certain pairs that have that little metal on the loafers, and I'm not a fan of those at all. But I also don't like the missing back. But I have seen some that I was like, okay, I like it, but I still wouldn't do it.
Got you. So basically,
I am a loafer fan.
Got you.
I love loafers.
Got you. Just not the mules. Okay.
I will say that women's mules are really like not mule loafers, but like mules for women are just really making a beautiful comeback. Like I'm really enjoying what folks are putting out there.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, there is like a backless wave because you got the California slippers from Fear God. I think Crocs is coming out with more of a mule, and then you got the classic Birkenstock that's a mule.
Mifflin put out a mule.
Mifflin put out a mule. So okay, maybe mules. Okay, I can kind of see why that question was asked now. Okay, all right. Okay, so it's a yes, even though you're not a fan. It just kind of depends. Okay,
right.
All right, cool.
Right.
All right, so. Pattern dress shirts, do they go with pattern blazers?
Yes.
Okay. Cufflinks, should they be shown with the blazer on or not shown?
That's not a yes or no question.
Okay. Are cufflinks supposed to be shown with the blazer on? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Is a custom suit worth the investment as opposed to tailored suits?
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all heard it.
Y'all heard it.
From the expert himself.
So
I have so much more to say on that last question.
Let's go. Let's expound. Come on. Let's get into it.
So I'll say this. For a slim individual that can throw on any suit and it always fits well, getting a tailored suit, so getting a good suit and getting it tailored can be the play. But for most Black men, and I hesitate to say it, but most athletically built men or Black men, our proportions are different and the clothes is not made for us. So our arms can be too big for shirts. Our chest can be too big. And because our chest and back is big, the middle is always going to be very, very open, a lot of space. So our jackets. So we have to always either go down on our jackets and they don't properly fit the shoulders, or that's pretty, or we might have to go up because our arms don't fit in the jacket as well. So a lot of times we have to make adjustments for fashion that are not beneficial to our bodies.
Got you. Yeah, no, that makes sense, because I know I definitely, anytime I go, it's always like chopped like towards the middle because of my my shoulders and stuff like that for it to fit in. And like definitely finding a tailor is, it saves the day, because I lost a lot of weight. So it's like all my suits didn't fit. So it's like now I'm going from like everything's getting taken down as well too. So it's like a completely different fit. So yes, if you're a person watching this, you need to invest in a tailor. If you're in the Dallas Fort Worth area, got to hit up Frank. So
and that goes for just like your day-to-day clothing too. Like this is one thing that our stylist we spoke to last season talked about, like get your clothes tailored. And it's so important, because it's the same thing like for Black women. Like it's just, the clothing is not made for our bodies. So it's like you got to get that waist taken in. Like it's not. So yeah.
And I can say the number one thing that I have to do for women, especially Black women's suits that I make, I always have to bring the waist in.
Yeah.
Because of hips, or even if they don't even have hips, and they just have a butt, there's still that gap in the back at the top of the pants. Yeah. And I always have to bring that in. So yeah, I get it.
Okay, let's go back to the music, man, Frank. So let's start there. So you started out doing music. Tell us a little bit about Dunbar High School to the record label. Like, talk a little bit briefly, get into how you kind of transitioned from being in music on the record, on Supreme Records, to getting into fashion.
So even if we do go to Dunbar, and I was in high school from 97 to 2000. And we used to beatbox. We used to beat on the table and freestyle. That was just what we did for fun. But when we got to college at Prairie View A&M University, we started up a record label. We started Supreme Records. We had about 10 artists at first, and that was just all friends. We passed out mixtapes for free all over the campus. We built a buzz on campus. We went to the Kappa beach parties back then, and we passed out CDs there. A lot of local rappers back then hit us up that are still popping today. Okay. But they hit us up about being on their labels and doing all these things. And we continued to grow as a label. Then we changed from Supreme Records to Pink Slip Records, from Pink Slip to Beat Slip. But in that transition, we had artists on the radio locally, Texas-wide, Gulf Coast, and nationwide. So we were moving in a good direction. Our biggest artist at the time was named B Hemp. Okay. And he had a song called Do the Ricky Bobby.
Oh, I remember that.
So when he dropped, we moved him out of our management to another guy, and he wanted to manage me. But he didn't want to manage me as a rapper because he didn't like the way I rapped. He said I rap very East Coast. And so he's learned that he can't work with East Coast rappers just because he doesn't know what to do with their music in the South. Gotcha. And so he wanted to, this is when the 360 deals were coming out. This is 2011, 12, I think. Okay. And he was just kind of like, I want you to get into the fashion world more. And so I want you to start hosting fashion shows and moving in that direction. I started hosting fashion shows immediately because I updated on Facebook. And on Facebook in 2012, any update that you did, it alerted everybody.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, so I said I was a Facebook host. I said I was just fashion show host. I got hooked. I got booked for a fashion show that first week. Okay. And so I was doing fashion shows as the host and performing as during the designers walking out. And I moved from there to producing because I wanted to get into the network of it, producing, doing lights, doing doing styling. And from styling, I got connected with Stefania, who worked with a few designers that were New York Fashion Week to Nashville Fashion. Well, actually, did fashion weeks all over the world and the nation mostly. But I got connected to be a part of their team, was styling with them, and then ran into an old friend from high school. We used to be in a dance group together, but he was a stylist, and his name was Keon Anthony. And he asked if I wanted to start up a suit company. And I said, why not? That's the next elevation of my style. And so we started up Franklin and Anthony.
Okay.
And that's how we got here.
Gotcha. Wow.
So that's how, and I was just telling you quickly, the evolution of music to fashion.
I love the journey. Like,
yeah,
it's interesting how life works, but I think one thing that I've noticed is that creative people tend to have a lot of different areas where they can be creative in. You know what I'm saying? So like you understand music, you're great at music. You also understand style. Like, I feel like it tends to work that way. Like, I think even for myself personally, I'm like, okay, like, you know, I was always very interested in painting and drawing as a child. Like, you can't see, but like all on the side of the wall. It's like all me, my brother's paintings.
One day
childhood.
we're gonna reveal.
No,
this
please
wall.
don't.
One day. I'm just waiting for the day. But one day I'm gonna let y'all see what I see every day.
It's really kind of embarrassing because they're not good.
But it's growth. Like, you gotta understand, like, everybody's first painting wasn't a Basquiat. Basquiat's first painting wasn't a Basquiat. Like, you had to start somewhere.
Okay.
So one day, I'm warming up. I'm warming her up, everybody. Like, we're gonna let y'all
be interested in seeing it too. I really want to see it, especially now that it's not good. I want to see it more.
Oh man. Okay, we're gonna have to show you after that.
Yeah, we'll show you. We'll show you after we stop recording.
No, but I noticed that about creative people. Like, you know, you just have that ability to flex in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like your journey makes sense in that way, where, you know, you're still in a creative field.
Yeah.
But I know you're also doing other things.
Well, yes. What I was going to say, one thing that I've always done through my whole journey is I always say I was God-led through everything. Mm-hmm. And whenever he opened the door, if it was for me, it always was just an easy transition and an easy journey into. Mm-hmm. But I always said I moved through the wave. Like, I just let God move me through the wave.
Gotcha.
And so when I got there, everything has just been flowing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking about, have you ever watched the show Next in Fashion?
No.
Wait. Well, it's on Netflix, and it basically takes a bunch of different designers who, you know, they've been doing the work for a while, but they're all in very different types of design fields. So some are like costume designers. Mm-hmm. Some have done like, you know, style for Beyonce, like for her concerts. Some people have like a fashion line. They're just from all different walks of life. And it's on Netflix. I think they finished season 2, so they've had 2 seasons thus far. And I was watching, I can't remember if it was season 1 or season 2. It was an episode about tailoring. And they had a challenge where they had to make a suit. And it was really interesting to see that, like, you know, these people who, you know, very talented designers, a lot of them didn't know how to make a suit.
They struggle, I know.
They struggle. And it is a very specific skill set. And so I'm just curious, like, how you develop that skill set and, you know, have had this ability to do this art form, which really it is an art form that is very specific, very detail oriented, very precise. I'm just curious.
So, this is a great question. So initially, here's the answer first off. I don't know how to make a suit. I'm a tailor. But so when I say I'm a tailor, I'm not a cutter.
Okay.
So the difference is as a tailor, I can do alterations. I can do like hemming and bringing the waist in and small things like that. But I actually have tailors that I've been working with for the past 9 years,
Got it.
and they're master tailors. And so I attempted to go to school 2 years ago. There's a teacher out here that learned on Savile Row, which is the street of the best tailors in the world. But the amount of time that it was asking for was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
And it was an hour away. So there was no way for me to do that and run my business at the same time.
Yeah.
So I had to turn it down for the moment, but I will get back to it. But just the process of learning is crazy. And the hardest part that a lot of people have is the lapel. Like learning how to create a proper lapel that lays right. And I've had a lot of tailors that I've brought in locally to do it, and they just couldn't do it. They couldn't get it right. They couldn't make women's these most beautiful designs and these most beautiful wedding gowns, but they could not get a suit down. So it is, you are right. It's not a skill that you can just run up and just say, oh, I've made some things. I can do this. That's the reason why I know I can't make a suit properly.
Okay, I'm interested now. So let's actually walk through like the process of making a suit from like consult to like final product, but from your vantage point. So I'm coming in, hey, I'm going to this event. I want a purple suit. I want to make it a 3-piece, double-breasted. Where are we going from there?
So this is how it works, right? So because me being a clothier, what we do is we bring you in, and our process is helping you build the suit.
Okay.
So you would come into the showroom. I have fabric books all over the showroom. You would choose what's the best fabric for you based on your budget that you're trying to stay in. And then once you decide which fabric you want, then I go through a process of teaching you teaching you about a suit, and then we're creating and building the suit together from scratch.
Okay.
So from the inner works of the jacket to the stitching on the lapel to the color of the buttonholes to the type of buttons to the lining to the type of lapel that you want to how you want your pockets, all that. So we go through all these details, and this process takes almost 2 hours.
Okay.
And so after we do that, then we take measurements. Okay. And depending on the individual, if it's a man, it's about 32 measurements. And if it's a woman, it's 42.
Okay.
So that whole process takes about 2 hours. And that's what I do. But at the end, you walk away having a full understanding, a better understanding of a suit, how it's made, and the difference between custom or bespoke to the store or made to measure.
See, that I like that because I used to sell furniture, and I'm into like more the business side of things as well too. And I think that process does a good job because most customers don't appreciate the process. They just see a product, and so they're more likely to nitpick on price when they don't understand the process that is used to create it. So that 2-hour process literally walks through everything, like thinking about the color of the buttonhole on the shirt or on the suit. A lot of people just overlook that. So when you walk them through that process, when you give them a price, they're less likely to be like, oh, that's too expensive, because they understand the thought process, the hard work. They're learning your knowledge as you're speaking about it, and they can see, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. Like, I've got somebody who's very experienced. So that's good. And then it's also educational as well too for them.
It also makes you,
and it is. So, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it also makes you a conscious buyer, a conscious consumer.
Right.
Because we're just so used to fast fashion, like low quality. There's no thought. It's a ripoff of some design that some celeb was wearing by Shein. So.
And one of the things we talk about is the canvas. And a lot of people don't have any understanding of what the canvas is in a suit. So, and I mean, that's what lays in between the fabrics on
Okay.
some suits.
Okay.
But we have that conversation of canvas being full or half canvas to fused to just understanding where you find it, a deconstructed jacket. And so we don't really just talk about the outside of the jacket. We talk about the inside, in between, and the reason why one jacket starts off at 2,500 compared to another jacket just starting at 1,000.
So that's all because of the canvas.
It can be, yes, 100% based on the canvas.
Got you.
But it's a whole stand up. Let me pull out the mannequin conversation on some of it.
Got you.
But we also talk about fused, and I mean it's a full conversation. But you walk away. Even I always tell my clients, even if you don't come back to me, wherever you go, you know what you're looking for.
Right.
And you know
exactly.
you know what you want. Right. So that's the dealings.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So cool.
Yeah. I didn't even know you getting me hip to so much stuff because I like suits. I'm into suits. So, but I don't know. I'm a novice, but that was very insightful. I would actually love to know because one thing that I always see that just like, I wouldn't say it bothers me, but it's like, I just feel like whenever I see a couple, right, there's like this picture that I tend to see. It'll be like a woman in a dress, normally with heels, and then I'll see a man in jeans and J's, which is, it's nothing wrong with that. But it's like sometimes you gotta match your woman's fly. Like you gotta like step it up a little bit, like get into some different type of pants, like get some loafers, like step the shoes up. So, with your experience as being a clothier, like how do you advise men about going to like finding their look?
So, so here's the conversation that I tend to have. Are you still dressing like you did 10 to 15 years ago? Right? If you're elevating yourself as a person, why are you still remaining the same clothes wise? And sometimes that can be a little harsh conversation for some people because they're taking time to be like, because they say this is my style. Well, the way you did things once upon a time is not the same way you do things today. And sometimes we don't come out of our style, but out of fear. Well, women tend to elevate with fashion and they try things. Sometimes they don't, but they're not as scared to try something. And sometimes we get so comfortable in big t-shirt and jeans and J's. And it's cool. It's comfortable. I even do that myself. But I do know that when my wife or anybody, if I'm just going out with friends, they're coming out with their best, then I should come out with something that matches that same feel, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's all about complimenting the person that you're with because you are a reflection of who you surround yourself with, right? And I'm trying not to go into a deep conversation about it, but it's more of if she's coming out in a dress, what matches a dress? A jean just does not match that look per se. I feel like my jeans do, but that's something else. But it's just about it's just an interesting conversation about making sure that you make her feel good about how well you look and that you're attempting to look just as good. And I always feel like this conversation is sticky because I want people to be who they are.
Yeah.
But I want them to step outside and try to just do something different. At least put a polo shirt on or put a button-down shirt on. But at least try to come to the same place that she's at. And don't think that your jewelry adds you or your shoes add to that same value of what she's doing.
Okay. feel that.
Not the jewelry trying to carry the outfit.
Yeah. That reminds me of
Yeah.
draft night in the NFL, NBA. It's like they'll have suits and then they'll just be so blinged out, and I'm just like, so the jewelry is it's the main piece, because you can't. That's all you're gonna focus on when you got like 4 or 5 big chains. So that's what I be thinking about when I think about heavy jewelry.
Do you feel like you go through that, or you've dealt with that a lot?
I don't. So a lot of my friends, like, they're not heavy jewelry people, and I also feel like my friends vary. Like, I have certain friends who really dress, and then some who dress just like chill. But even the ones that dress chill, like, it's them, and they have the ability to do that. So it's like I have like a spectrum. So
hey, were you talking to Chuck or me?
Oh,
I was talking to you.
Oh,
I was like,
I said, I feel so. I tend to date more stylish guys. Like I'm initially attracted to style. So
Okay.
I feel like I typically have not had that issue. And if it was an issue, it was like, we're not really serious because you don't take yourself seriously.
Hot girl summer.
No, I'm serious. Like, it's you're.
So you said something there.
Yeah,
You said something there. You said because he dresses that way, he doesn't take himself serious.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that, like, people should be intentional about what they wear, because when people say that saying, like, what I'm like not gonna get the phrase right, so I'm gonna summarize because I can't remember the phrase. But basically, you show up for you wear how you want to show up in the world. Like, what you wear is like how you want to show up in the world. Like, it's a representation of who you are.
Facts.
And I really truly believe that, because what is also accurate is that if you look good, you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Like clothing really does bring people confidence.
Facts.
Like, I don't knock that.
Yeah.
It is very true. When you're comfortable in your clothing, I noticed it's a good example. When you gain a little bit of weight and you can't wear some of the clothes that you used to be able to wear, your confidence is knocked down a little bit.
Yeah,
you're uncomfortable.
That's full facts.
Yeah.
That is complete facts.
Yes, and so it is linked. I think a lot of people who aren't really into fashion, like, will knock it and be like, it's not a big deal. But I think that's just because they have not had the opportunity to, like, meet with a stylist or someone who, like, has helped them to show them how clothing can really empower you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's my little 2-piece.
Yeah, if I ever saw Ndima with a dude with heavy jewelry, I'd be looking at Ndima like, all right, when did you change? What happened? Because I was like, I can never see Ndima with a dude, like, seriously, who just like heavy jewelry, like trench baby type dude. Like, I couldn't see it. So like,
but I could say this personally. I have actually thought about doing just the heavy jewelry thing before, but it was. Everything else was going to match. It was going to make sense. And it was based on the conversation of Mr. T. So they were saying the reason he wore so much jewelry because he was channeling his Egyptian background, like the fact that we used to wear all our gold on us.
Yeah.
And we used to, that's how we carried ourselves and showed our value, our royalty, basically.
That's good.
So that's I thought about doing that. Even I've been wrestling and getting a gold grill for like 10 years. And one day I'm gonna do it.
Just get it.
I'm getting one for my birthday. Do it.
Just get it.
I know.
Just get it. Yeah. No, yeah. It's definitely about how you do the heavy jewelry. That's the whole thing of it. It's how you do the heavy jewelry.
And the heavy gold jewelry and like a slack. That's
Okay. See?
That's yes.
Yeah. When I was thinking like trench baby, I just think like heavy jewelry, like a Mary jeans and like some Jordans or something like that. Like I can't see nobody ain't even pull up with no dude like that.
It's
like
too much.
Yeah.
but no judgment. So
No judgment, but everybody has, like you said, there's naturally has to be judgment, especially when you're picking somebody who you're trying to date and build a life with. It's going to have to be a little bit of judgment.
Just a little bit.
So Frank, you have Franklin and Anthony, your father. You have Community Frontline as well too. You also skateboard. You make content. You're influencer. If people aren't getting it, he does a lot. So how do you kind of balance all these things? And then how do you find time to make sure you're taking care of self, filling your own cup before you go back pouring in other people's cup?
So a lot of times we don't get to rejuvenate ourselves and help ourselves get back in a good place and take care of ourselves the way we should. But okay, I'm gonna answer both. I'm gonna start off by saying the way I balance it is with Dominique, who is my assistant, who helps me with everything. Mm-hmm. And I would fall apart if I didn't have Dominique. Just because she's great at what she does schedule wise and just keeping things aligned. So she helps me with that. My wife, because she makes sure that I don't overdo myself or just try to take on too much stuff at one time. She's always helped me with that. But I can tell you personally that my schedule is always packed. And it's because I feel like I always have an obligation to somebody that I have to make sure things fall into place. So business wise, I have to make sure that I'm doing and I'm running the business properly to make sure everybody's getting paid. Community wise, because I'm the director of marketing in Community Frontline, I want to make sure that I'm always. So you find out that even though you have all these people in different departments, whether it's brotherhood, whether it's mental, whether it's business economics or gardening or whatever department these people are in, it's my job to tap into every single department to make sure marketing is being done properly for everybody. So I do have to, in my downtime, make sure that I'm contacting my staff to make sure that they're getting all the things that are correct to be put out, to be done, that needs to be out there. And then when I'm not doing that, as a social media person, I'm supposed to be creating content and making sure that I have something to drop at least 2 or 3 times a week, making sure all these things are happening. And then I'm a father, so I have to make sure I drop my kids off every morning. I have to make sure that they're getting where they need to get. When they all have games, I'm always at every game. I'm always at every. So it's the balance is based on a calendar and just me checking off and going to the next thing. But as a man, and from conversations that I've had with a lot of men, we actually don't take time to refuel ourselves, to take the vacations that we need, to get the mental breaks that we need, because we're also coming home to be providers and make sure that bills are paid and making sure that we're doing some type of thing around the house so we don't get yelled at. So, so it's a hard thing. And like I started off saying, I don't actually get much time. I might schedule like a massage here once a month. I've been trying to schedule time to get my toes done for I know that sounds weird, but it's not.
True. I get my toes done once a month.
And I've been trying to do it for the past 3 months. But vacation wise, we always try to make sure that our girlfriends, our wives are going and on their trips and getting time to do what they need to do for their personal or just having their own staycations. But we feel like we have to work or we just feel weird about taking time for ourselves. Yeah. And it's based on today's society, but it's also based on the pressure we put on ourselves. So, yeah, that was a lot. I'm sorry.
No, that was good.
Men, go ahead and take your vacations.
Listen, it's easier said than done. Because I feel I can echo the same sentiment. It's like when I have downtime, it's like I feel like it's so much stuff that I need to do that you feel guilty resting, even though you need the rest in order to do all the stuff that you need to do. So it's that constant battle of knowing, should I rest now? Should I work on stuff now? But at the end of the day, if you don't decide to rest, your body will decide that when to rest. And normally it's never a convenient time. So
me right now, I'm just like, so important.
Yes.
So important. Do you want to get into this hot or not segment you got?
Yes, but first I want to ask Frank about, we talked a lot about clothes, your company. Talk a little bit about, like, how would you describe your own style? Because, you do the suits as well, but then you also do the dress down. You got content doing the dress down. So how would you describe your own personal style? Like, how would you describe it to someone?
Actually, I have no idea. I always tell people all the time, they tell me I dress unique, and I tell people I have no idea how I dress. I just I've always dressed differently from people because I just did what I liked and what I thought was popping for me. And I mean that in regards to, I'm from the hood. And so being from the hood, we have our own style in Stop Six. But I've always been the guy that was first to put a bow tie on, that was wearing the button down. And my parents used to thrift store shop. So when they thrift store shop, they always got me really nice stuff back then, like Christian Dior.
Oh, wow.
I wore all the time. I used to have just Ralph Lauren. I just always had like nice thrift store stuff because my parents used to live in a really nice area. So the thrift store had really nice stuff.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that to say that I've always just put stuff on, and if it felt comfortable, if it felt right, if sometimes my favorite rapper was wearing it, I would emulate something similar. So like back in the Dipset era, I was wearing V-necks with a wife beater underneath the V-neck, like Jim Jones, with a shiny belt and
yes, the rock star era. I would call that
Tim's, right? So I would do Tim's, and that wasn't common out here. But with that, because I'm in Texas, right? I'm in Fort Worth, Texas. So
East Coast
what's
rapper.
happening is, right? So everybody's saying, "Oh, he dressed different." So then I would add something that would be more local to it, and so that was just me being me too. So always mushing myself in. So I feel like in the sartorial world, I've always loved the old style of suits, but I'm a fan of, but I am a black dandy. And being a black dandy, I still love color. I still love matching patterns on patterns. I still like just stepping out and making a statement through my clothes. So I don't even know how I dressed or how it's different. I just dress based on how I feel.
Gotcha. Okay. No, that's good. That's good. All right. Check your phone. I texted you a link. See if you can get into it. But that's the next segment, the hot or not. I believe I emailed you it already.
I got it.
Got it. Okay, so we're gonna go into our hot or not segment, but since the draft was a couple months ago, I mean, kind of recent, everybody's kind of run it down, but by the time it comes out, it had enough space between it. Let's talk draft fit. So draft days, it's funny. I was actually talking about my brother about this before. It's funny how much style is like now the forefront for NBA and NFL players, and it always wasn't that. Like, you had like the Walt Clyde Fraziers, you had the Dennis Rodmans, you had the Allen Iversons, but then Allen Iverson was like the catalyst for like the dress code. Then they had the dress code where you like had to dress up, and then that kind of started the what's it called, the business casual era, and that's our era when we was clubbing, where we were wearing like ties with like the personality glasses to the club, like LeBron with LeBron D Wade, like Chris Paul, they were wearing that to the interviews and the press conference. But now like they just opened the hatch like completely now. Like you can just basically wear like whatever. Like I know there was even a time where it's like in the NBA, it was like if you're sitting on the bench, like it doesn't matter what you wear, like you had to wear a suit jacket. And I don't even think that's the rule anymore. So I picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I picked about 7 or 8 looks from the draft that I saw that either I liked or I just like I wanted your opinion on. So let's go through some of these. So the first look is Kobe Buffkin. So he has a cream tweed double-breasted suit with some brown suede boots, and he layered that with some diamond necklaces. So how you feeling about Kobe's fit, hot or not?
So it's interesting. I am going to lean toward hot. The Chelsea boots, I'm not a super fan on him. And not with this, but I do understand what he's doing. The fit is not trash. It's solid. I wouldn't do no shirt, but the way he's doing it and he's in better shape than me, yeah, why not? Pop off.
Gotcha. And Dima?
Yeah, I agree with you on the Chelsea boots, but the fit is fire to me. Like I love this suit. I love the double-breasted. I like that the shirt is open. It works with how he styled it. And this is an instance of like someone wearing jewelry in a creative way. Like it's not your typical like, jewelry that
heavy
dudes wear.
big
The
pendant.
heavy. Yeah, I love this second like loop where it's just like the diamonds are kind of like they're like circles, and it's even the bracelet.
Yeah.
It's kind of a feminine bracelet. It's working.
It is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think it's a hot. The Chelsea boots do throw it off. I wish he would have went with a different shoe, but if a different shoe takes the outfit even to a better level, but it's still a hot outfit. I think that he did a good job. All right, let's scroll to the next one. This was probably.
And I was just gonna say one thing. I think if he had went with some black Chelsea boots, like leather black Chelsea boots, I think that would have did a whole nother thing to it.
Okay.
That's just my person.
Got you. Okay. No, that's good.
See that?
All right. The second one was probably the most, what's it called? Polarizing outfit of the draft. It's Grady Dick. He wore a Dolce & Gabbana suit. He paired that with a vibrant red sequin ensemble with some Christian Louboutin shoes. And the red sequin is a ode to Kansas because that's where he's from. So like, Dorothy, Kansas, I just want to go home. Like that's why it's red sequin. So what we got, hot or not on this one?
Oh, I'm a not for sure. I'm a not. And the over-exaggerated shoulders is too much for me. I'm not a fan of the look.
Mm-hmm.
The sequence shirt, sequence jacket, I'm not feeling. Is the jacket's too short as well, and the crotch is too dropped on the pants. But I do understand the whole Dorothy feel. That's kind of cool, but I just don't like the execution.
Okay. Indeed.
That's me.
It reminds me of something like Lady Gaga wore, like the exaggerated shoulders. Like it's giving like a Gaga look, like back in the day when she was doing those sort of silhouettes. Like it is very odd. Like did he have to lean into the strange and bizarre and the like for every element of this outfit? I don't understand. Yeah, it's just a lot going on. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah, I didn't
Chaotic.
I didn't like this fit at all. I think I like the thought process, but the sequin is way too much. I'm like, choose either the jacket or the turtleneck. I don't like the over exaggerated shoulders, like you said. I didn't even peep until you said like the jacket does look, it could be a little bit longer. Like I think there are so many more ways he could have executed this. But I do like the thought process of the theme, but I just don't think it was well executed at all. So, yeah.
Yeah, that turtleneck is not for me either. I think yeah, wrong season too. But that's fine.
Okay. Next one is Scoot Henderson. He is a collaboration with his sister, who's the creative director of Mix of Lukes. So the jacket has all the birthstones of his parents and his siblings all across his shoulders. So how are we feeling about Scoot's look?
My okay. So the fit and the make of this jacket is trash. Um, I hate to say that because he said his sister made this.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's his sister. Yeah. Or it's a collab. It
Yeah.
says
So
it's
I
a
mean,
collaboration with his sister. So I don't know if she like just like drew it and then somebody else made it or exactly. I'm not sure.
I'm just looking at the wrinkles in the body. Like I hate it.
Mm,
This sequence, and I can't remember what this is called, but I have people that's trying to get me to do this now. I'm not against it. I just don't like how much is on it, where it is,
mm-hmm.
and yeah, I really hate the whole thing. The boots are fire.
Yeah.
Uh, the flared bottom, I'm not against it. It's not my style, but I like it. But that jacket destroys the whole thing.
Yeah, see,
So
that's the tailor eye in you noticing those wrinkles because it kind of reminds me of our photo shoot. So I wore like a that maroon suit that I wore. It was pretty poorly tailored, and so like some of the pictures you'll see that where it's like I'm standing straight, but the shirt is like a little bit rumpled or little wrinkles and stuff like that, and that's just because it wasn't well made. So, but to like the untrained eye, like you wouldn't see it, but I would expect you, of course, to notice those. Details. Hey, Dima, do you like the fit?
It's horrible. Um, aside
and
to
that
his
necklace,
sister, I love that he is leaning into his family, but it's just, it's horrible. Now, I agree with Frank. I really like the boots. I feel like the flare pants, like, um, it is not my favorite look, but I've seen it done really well by, oh boy, I'm going to forget his name. The old boy in the Harry Styles has done it well. The flared
hmm,
pant look, but I feel like it always looks good because he's like I've never seen it. Okay, no, I've seen it done well with the suit, but it needs to be a different type of flare.
Okay.
I feel like if it's this
yeah,
sort of flare where it's a little bit like wider through the knee, then it only works well if it's not paired with a jacket. Like it needs to be like Harry Styles be wearing it with a white beater or something like that, and like
Gotcha.
it looks good. Like he can pull off because he's a slim frame. It just works well for him. Um, so I feel like he could have pulled it off if just the whole top was removed. Like it just needs to be a different different.
I mean, if you do, you covering it up. Oh, and also the jewelry, the necklace. The necklace is just over the top too. Like the jacket is already doing the bling. Why add the jewelry? Why add the necklace?
Yeah. He actually has a grill too. I don't know if you zoom in and see.
I'm okay with that,
Yeah.
but it's just
Yeah.
I feel like his jacket fell onto his chest.
That's a great way of describing it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I can do that.
Oh my god.
All right. Let's skip the next one. Um I want to go to the guy, Jordan Hawkins, because this jacket is it's interesting. One of the more interesting jackets at the draft. So Jordan Hawkins, he has a black and blue suit. Looks almost like a smoking jacket. Got some big, large cuffs, some loafers to match. So, Andima, do you like this look by Jordan Hawkins?
I like aspects of it. I like the smoking jacket. Um, I like the pleating in the pants. Um, I'm not sure about the bow tie and the loafers. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, it's okay-ish.
Okay. How you feel, Frank?
So,
There goes Frank.
first off, that bow tie, I honestly can't tell if it's self tie or pre tie. I hate pre ties
I don't like them either.
with a passion, and this is giving me pre tie, but I'm not really sure. I do love the smoking jacket. I definitely will call this a smoking jacket because of the tie in the front, the fold back cuffs. Yeah, and just the way it's made, I'm not against it. I do like it. That bottom is very wide, but it looks good. It's not well. I'm trying not to destroy the fit either. The shoulders are a little short, but outside of that, I mean, the pants are too. Uh, okay, I like it. I'm not a fan of the tailoring.
Gotcha.
And some aspects.
Okay.
But I'm not a fan of the shoes either. I don't like the loafers. They're just too much for me. They're too busy. But for a young guy, I understand it.
Yeah.
So I will give him hot.
the unsurety in your voice is hilarious.
Better than okay-ish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go down to the next one. We got the number one overall pick, the alien, Victor Wembanyama, 7'5". He has on a green LV suit. I believe he said that it was supposed to be like ode to like being like an alien or something like that. That's why he kind of went with the green color or something like that. So we're gonna start hot or not. I'm gonna go first. I like the color of the suit. I really think the color of the suit, it sits well. The thing that bothers me about this suit is I don't know what's going on in the midsection area right here. There's something.
I do.
What is that called?
I do. So it's created like a double breast at the top, but midway it turns into a single breast. But it's still wrapped over. It's just breaking a lot of rules. It's I get for alien aspect, I get it, but it's a tailor's. It's a tutorial nightmare. I will tell you that. So the shoulders are just way too small. The jacket length is way too small for him. That's why it looks so bad on him. If they should have added like another 2 inches, and it would at least balance them out. But his legs look extremely too long in this. The shoes are trash. It's just, I'm not a fan at all.
What you think?
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. I feel like it's unfortunate. Like, you know, like you gotta find someone who knows how to tailor for these tall dudes. Like that's, you know,
True.
It's unfortunate because like I feel like that's part of the issue. Another thing, I had some weird thoughts that popped into my head. So the first one is you said that it was an ode to aliens. So his necklace, which I like his necklace, it reminds me of y'all remember in Men in Black when like the universe was
Yeah. And the whole universe, it was like a galaxy inside of the necklace.
Yes.
That's what it looks like. And then the other thing, and this is a real hot take, and Frank, you won't have the background on this, but like I feel like the top of the suit could work really well for like one of them skirt looks. Like the male skirt kilt looks. Like I feel like it could work. I like
And even knows I'm not a big fan of the kilt, at least me personally. Some dudes, I guess, can pull it off, but overall, I'm just like, why y'all boys wearing kilts and skirts out here? But Andima loves dudes in the kilt, especially if they got some leg tats. It's over. It's over.
I get it. So I tell you this, so culturally, I like the kilt. I do. I've also saw a lot of cool waist bands or the way that they close that are on kilts that I love. but culturally, I cannot wear the kilt. If it was a Nigerian kilt, I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no Nigerian kilt.
Yeah.
No.
So I will not do it. So that's it.
Gotcha.
I can understand that.
2-piece.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It has some good thoughts there, but overall execution is just
Poor.
So yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll say let's end on that note because I feel like the other two are just like just yeah. But no, that was the Hot or Not NBA edition. Thank you for giving us your expertise. I would actually love to see what you would set up an NBA draft prospect in. Hopefully, I pray that this blows up and maybe somebody getting drafted next year will come down to Fort Worth and come get
Well, you haven't even
touched
asked
up.
him if he has. He may have.
Have you worked on any NBA and any draft looks at all?
No drafts.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well,
I've done NFL players, and I'm working on an NBA player right now.
Okay.
But I'm waiting for that deal to go through.
Okay.
we can't wait to
The
see
official
it.
sponsor.
So not drafts, but you'll be like some of their looks during the season. You'll be doing. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be on ESPN, and so I'll be doing his looks on the up there.
Okay.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Well, do we want to get into the favorite Black fashion moment?
Yeah, I think it's definitely time for that.
Yeah.
So I know you had some time to think about it. So
I did, and it's a hard question. So here's the question. My favorite Black fashion moment, personally or just in general?
let's do it in general.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it in general.
That's the hard one.
All right, let's start off with let's start off with the personal. What's your personal favorite Black fashion moment?
So my personal favorite Black fashion moment was, I would say, the first flash mob that Black Menswear did. Mm-hmm. When they did their first flash mob, it was a really good experience seeing Black men together, looking as well as we were looking, uniting, everybody just being excited to be there, everybody being happy to be a part of history and to start a movement. Mm-hmm. And it was just really good to meet a lot of professional guys that were just wanting to make some form of impact. That was my favorite Black moment. And the second one is that picture of Black Menswear that went viral with the little boy in the front.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that picture. Yeah.
So that one was pretty dope, and I just happened to be there because I didn't think I was going to have time. Okay. But that was it. But so my favorite Black moment in fashion. It's hard. It's really hard because I'm thinking of I'm thinking of movies, mm-hmm. and just when I was seeing these movies and understanding what was happening. So like Boomerang mm-hmm. is a good movie for me. Mm-hmm. And fashion wise, seeing Strange always just killing everywhere she went in the dresses that she was wearing. Mm-hmm. Robin Given in the suits that she was rocking. Like mm-hmm. she was killing every suit that she had on. Right. Every time you saw her, she was killing it. Halle Berry at the end of the movie, not during the movie, but the end. And then just seeing the suit fits throughout and these just being young professional men, Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence and David Alan Grier, just the suits that they were wearing and the conversations they were having. Mm-hmm. It was great to see. Mm-hmm. But then the next thing is that stands with it is Harlem Nights, mm-hmm. knowing that, looking at those suits, looking at how all these Black people were dressed, mm-hmm. everybody was dressed literally to the nine. Mm-hmm. And then knowing that the the person that was the stylist was a black man. It was really good to see, and it's inspiring still for me today. So,
Okay.
That's beautiful.
I need a couple expert opinions from Frank. I got 3. All right. So
okay.
give me 3 essential items, must-haves in a wardrobe.
In a wardrobe, so a watch. A watch personally, just because I feel like you should always have something on your wrist, something on your arms. It doesn't matter the type of watch, whether we're talking about an Apple Watch or we're talking about a Seiko. But I feel like a watch is important. Style. Is this for novice or just in general?
Everyday person. 3 things that, like, if they watching this, they're like, what things don't I have in my closet? And you like, no, these are 3 things that this person, every dude needs.
A clean white shirt, a clean white button-down shirt.
Okay.
Even if you have to buy one every month to make sure you have one, it is the key shirt that you can rock with anything. And there's no reason you shouldn't be able to. And it's just, even if you just put some trousers on with it and some loafers or just some shoes, it could still be a great look, just with a regular white shirt. The next thing is hard because I'm a pocket square person. I feel like a good pocket square is important, but it's not a one thing because you have to have a jacket to put in the pocket square. Put the pocket square in. So it's so if we were going to talk about one thing, making sure you had a blue suit.
Blue suit. Okay.
A good blue suit. A good blue suit can be a date night suit. It can be an interview suit. It could be a funeral suit. It could be whatever you do with it based on the accessories that you add or what you don't add. But I would say those are the 3 things: a blue suit, a white shirt, and a watch.
That's good. That's good.
I wonder, I'm like just curious, what made blue like the classic color for suits? Like, who's the person who came down and said, all right, when we talking about suits, the blue suit, that is the classic color?
I don't know. I have no earthly idea. And I think, I don't know, it just has stuck through time. So even with presidents, you know them to be in a blue suit. That's what they're known for, always wearing a blue suit. It's just, I think we're programmed. We're just programmed that way. And I don't know the root of it, but that's something to actually look up. I think I'm gonna look that up and find out for you.
Good on everyone. So it's blue jean. That's an iconic color as well.
Very true.
So I wonder if there's some connection there.
Yeah, when you said president, it just reminded me of that time. I think it was that one Easter that Obama wore that tan suit, and literally people were like losing their mind because a president did not wear a blue or a black suit. Like they were literally losing their mind over a tan suit. I couldn't believe it. Like I literally couldn't believe it.
They were literally pissed off. Yeah, like people were upset, and the black people were like, "Yeah, we gonna do it. We always do it. We look good." But that was a great time. That was a great time in fashion. That is a really good time. I'm gonna put that in my memory as that's it.
Shout out to black people just
not caring, breaking the rules.
Breaking the rules when it comes to suits. We have been doing
for sure.
Yes.
Forever. So I'll tell you this: the Congo dandies are a group of people who have just broken all the rules and have always looked good doing it. Yes. We were the Congo dandies stepped out in all colors and all patterns and everything, and all the jewelry that they had in their house, and they put it all on at one time, and accessories, and just took that cane and strutted. And we have forever been making a statement in trying to and being bold through our fashion, and that's That's why, yeah, black people are beautiful. And we look good in every single color. Ain't a color we don't look good in.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion, though.
Nah,
Yeah.
I echo that too.
No, I seriously echo it. And I know I'm supposed to do my segment on TV shows, but like Frank, you blew my mind with that because I have always been fascinated and it's one thing that I want to research at some point in time. But like particularly where Chuck and I are from Nigeria, there are some very interesting there's a very interesting like use of Western style in like our clothing, particularly I feel like around weddings. So for example, in the South where I'm from, we'll wear these like really long like white shirts, and then you tie a wrapper underneath it. And the white shirt is like it's tailored. It's like, you know, you've got the cuffs, you've got like I don't even know how to explain like it's like the top of the shirt is like is open and has like a strip almost going down, but then it closes
Yeah.
and then it comes. I don't know what that's called, but that's like
No,
the
I
style.
know what you're talking about. I've made some of those before.
Oh, I'm sure. Being in Texas. And it's so interesting the use of like the European fashion, how we've made it our own in on the continent of Africa. So like that's something I'm so interested in, like would love to photograph or something. It's just fascinating.
Yeah. One more thing I have to ask, because this is like a new phenomenon, especially with suits. How do you feel about sneakers and suits?
So it's hard. It's hard for me, but I love it. Okay. So I started doing sneakers and suits in '08. But I did a certain type of sneaker.
I was about to ask
So
you.
I don't know if yeah. See, y'all remember Kids?
Yeah.
Like girls used to wear Kids back in the day? Well, was it Urban Outfitters or another store? They used to have some that looked like karate shoes. And I used to wear karate shoes with suits all the time. And people would always try to high side, but people would love it because I'd had every color and I would always make it look good. And I got that from my cousin. But that's when I started my journey of wearing sneakers in suits. Then that switched to Toms.
Okay.
I wore Toms in suits.
Okay.
And so that tells you how long I've been doing it. But then I stopped and I started doing nothing but loafers.
Okay.
But now I'm starting to get back to wearing Jordan 1s and suits because those are the ones that actually look good together. Right. My personal opinion. So I'm 100% on board for it.
So Jordan 1s
when it's done right.
How do you feel about the Jordan? I think it's the Space Jam ones. Because I know he specifically designed those Concord ones to be worn with the tux. How do you feel about those?
Right. Oh, I hate it.
You hate it?
Because wearing a tuxedo.
Right.
I mean, for a sneaker ball, it's perfect. But if we're talking about formal, we're talking about like a real event, then we're going back to your girl. If she wears some, then go ahead and do it. But she's probably putting on heels.
Right.
So you probably shouldn't put those on. Okay. My personal opinion.
So any other sneaker besides Jordan 1s you'll wear with a suit? Nope.
I was really trying to think on it, and I could not figure. No, okay. Personally, no.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out if I should say this. I had a client do foams.
Foam pots?
And his whole wedding, foam pots, and the whole wedding party did foam pots. I wasn't a fan of it.
I'm not either.
Because it's a bulky shoe.
Very bulky shoe.
Bulky shoes should not. And that's the reason why I like Jordan 1s. Dunks are slimmer. Yeah, so dunks could work too. Low top are, yeah. But I mean, lows are pretty good. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah. It's his wedding day. He can do what he wants, but foam posits is crazy. I'm sorry. Foam posits
and his wife was cool with it?
She was cool. Yeah. But I mean, the suit looked great. I made the suit. It looked great.
He looked good from the ankle up. All right, and Diva.
Oh Lord. So
But,
Frank,
yes, ma'am.
I mentioned we typically do a segment about like shows that we're watching, stuff like that feature some fashion. But I'm gonna turn the tables on you and ask you what you're watching. And it doesn't even have to be like, you could give me a mix. Like it could be a mix of like what you're watching that's just like very interesting and people need to be watching, and a mix of like maybe one or two shows that you're like, okay, the fashion on the show it's giving. So give me a mix.
So that's that's really hard. If this was, and that's my ice machine. If this was easily 6 years ago, I would have told you Power is the show to watch for fashion.
Oh, we could go back. We could go back.
Yeah. And I still believe that suit wise, because Musica Ferreri, they were doing a great job with Omar Hardwick suits.
Omari.
Yeah, Omari Hardwick suits. But I changed his whole name. But right now I'm watching. I just finished Run the World, and I was watching Harlem too. It's women's fashion. I love when women dress well, or just dress it up, or just play, or do something different. I always love to see that. Mm-hmm. So that's why I really like those two.
I haven't gotten into Run the World, but I've been watching Harlem. So what I like about Harlem is that you're displaying like different types of like style aesthetics. I do wonder if like people are squarely in their lane as much as they are on that show, because I feel like they each one has kind of an archetype. And I've always been the kind of person where I'm like, I love style so much that like, and I probably, the stylists need to get me together on this. Like, there are just so many different stylistic elements that speak to me. Like, I love a bohemian look, but I also love like a streetwear look. But I also love like a really like proper prim, like preppy type look. Like I just like, I like to mix it up. Under that show, I feel like people are very much so in their boxes, but like it gives me inspiration of like how to play around with those different looks. Gotcha. Because of that show. They do a good job.
Yeah. I think
watch Run the World.
Okay.
Run the World. Okay.
I'll add that to the list.
Yeah. I will say that, because you mentioned Power, Ghost is like the catalyst for me wanting a burgundy suit. Because that one episode when he had that burgundy suit, like I think I had that. Yeah, I think I had that in my phone as a screenshot for like a couple years. Like that burgundy suit, I was just like, I need one. I need one. Like sometimes I see dudes in suits and I'm like, I need one. Like recently I follow a friend of a friend, a guy named Akeem, and he had like a blue pinstripe suit jacket, like over like some black slacks, and I was like, I need me a pinstripe jacket now. Like it's just like now, like I want a couple pinstripe jackets. Like I want like a blue, like a green, like just to like give it a little flavor. Like I grab inspiration from everywhere, but I just vividly remember that burgundy suit on Ghost, and I was just like, this shit looks so good. Like it looks so good. So it just like
he had a black shirt underneath it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Tell me about this pinstripe. He had a blue and what?
It was a blue and white pinstripe, and then he sat it over white dress shirt, black slacks, black tie.
So was it pinstripe or was it boating stripes?
I don't know the difference.
Okay.
Get me educated.
I can, if you give me.
How thick were the stripes?
I think they were pretty thin. If you give me 2 seconds, I can send it to you via Instagram. Okay.
So boating stripes are going to be a bit thicker.
Yeah. Pinstripes are thin. Yeah. Boating stripe is like the real preppy like stripe, right?
It's like
yep. Like a candy striper.
Almost like a candy stripe.
Yeah.
So I just sent it to you. Is that, what do you think that is?
Oh, Frank gotta take that one. It's not quite a pinstripe. It's nice.
So it is a pinstripe.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a different pinstripe, but it's still pinstripe.
Because the lines are almost double.
Yeah. It's just a little bit thicker, but some people might throw this in the boating stripes. They could.
Yeah, it's like somewhere in the middle.
Did you see what I sent you?
Yeah, I'm about to, hold on, let me get out of this. Okay, got you.
So that's like an example of boating stripe.
Ah, okay. So this is.
Oh, yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the middle because of that. Because like I feel like the width of it, when you put the two lines together, it's the width of a boating stripe, but it's two like thinner lines.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why it works. Outside of that, I would never do it, but it works. Only reason why, because I have an issue with blue and black together. I don't know why.
Really?
I just mentally have.
Okay.
I do. I don't know.
Blue and black. Like I love all those things, Frank, where they say like you shouldn't pair those things together. Like remember when they were like no brown and black, no blue and black, no gold and silver. Like I love that stuff together. Like I love hardware that's like a mix between gold and silver. There was this chain I wanted for so long that sold out. But I like it.
I used to be like that, but then I think I broke off of it. And then I remember I got this one pick that I really like. It's like a navy blue suit with a blue shirt this color. And then I got a black tie with this black cat and black shoes. And like I didn't think I was going to like it at first. And then I wore it and I was like, I like it.
Now that sounds hard. That sounds hard.
Yeah.
I'm just like it's like navy and black being together, because half of the time people can't tell when something's black and something's navy. Mm-hmm. That's where my problem has always came in.
Yeah,
but I got to get.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But did I answer a question? Did you ask me a question? Did I answer?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, no, I did.
You gave it to us. Harlem.
Yeah. Harlem and
what was that one?
What was the name of the other show? Harlem. What was the name of the other show?
Run the World.
Run the World in Harlem. Women's fashion.
And they're almost like the same show too, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just different black women.
Yeah.
But the problems are different.
Gotcha.
So it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No. This has been lovely, Frank. I've learned so much about suits. Like I want to fly down and be like, all right, Frank, it's time to get the suit together.
Give me together. Oh, is there anything not like non-traditional tailoring? So outside of suits, is there anything else that you get tailored just on a day-to-day? Like, do you get your jeans tailored or like anything else tailored outside of suits?
No. Me personally or other people?
You personally, would you suggest anybody? Like, is there anything you like? You should consider tailoring that.
A shirt. Did you say shirts?
So, you saying dress shirt, or just like regular like t-shirt?
Any shirt.
Any shirt.
Even t-shirts.
Okay.
And I say that because there might be a t-shirt that just is really dope, but the body is just so big and it just gives you an unflattering shape. Mm-hmm. You can actually get that tailored too.
Okay.
Just to kind of fit the body a little bit more.
Okay. All right.
I know most people don't think of that. Oh, one more thing. Just free game. On any suit that you have, if you just want to change the look of that suit because it's kind of gotten old to you, switch the buttons out. Find new buttons and switch it out. It'll change the whole suit and you'll love it again.
Okay. That's good. Keys from Frank. Thank you for stopping past. This was a great episode. I learned a lot. This was good. We've needed some men's fashion on this podcast. We appreciate it. Keep doing the PTMOs. Keep teaching. We need more and more. If you didn't know, Frank does this series called PTMO, Pop This Mug Off, where he gives just like different tips on life and style and things like that. And speaking of that, let the people know where they can find you on social media.
Okay, on Instagram, I am quite. Am I quite underscore Frank? I'm
Yeah,
quite
I
underscore
think
Frank.
yeah, quite
On
underscore Frank.
Thread, I'm quite underscore Frank.
Red.
Oh boy, the thread warriors.
On Twitter, I'm quite Frank. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. But if you're trying to find me on Facebook, I'm Franklin Quite Frank Moss Jr. But for the suit company, Franklin and Anthony, on all platforms except Twitter, F&A Customs, um, Community Frontline, Community Frontline on all platforms. Also, our websites for Community Frontline is communityfrontline.com, franklinanthony.com, and I think that's it. I know I didn't really get to dive into Community Frontline, but I realized I was running from that conversation. I don't know why, but yes.
Okay. All right. And again, you can follow us on Instagram at Got This in Black, TikTok. Subscribe to our YouTube page. We are on Twitter too at Got This in Black.
Dang, should we get a thread?
I'm not doing Thread. I'm sorry. Yes.
Why not?
It's too many apps to try to keep hold of. It's too many apps to try to we barely use the Twitter like we should. Like it's like we're trying to like our game plan right now is trying to pick 2 platforms and just kind of like trying to master those. So those right now are like more TikTok and YouTube because we're trying to get to 500 subscribers so we can monetize and actually put some money in my pocket so we don't have to self fund everything. So that's where we're focused. But I don't know what Threads is looking like, but it seems like it's smart just because there's a bunch of people on Instagram who would like to go to Twitter but don't want to leave the platform, and so just never made a Twitter account. So this is their chance to enjoy it and stay on it. So it makes a lot of sense. They already have a large following between Facebook and Instagram, so the business aspect of it is genius. But I know there's definitely going to be some billionaire fighting because I know Elon's not just going to sit there and allow that. Like I think Threads got like 10 million users in 7 hours. So
in 30 and 24 hours.
30 and 24 hours. See? So yeah, there's definitely a use case for it.
So I'm gonna challenge you on this though.
Okay.
I know you want to build Instagram, right? So every time somebody follows you on Thread, they follow you on Instagram automatically. Okay. It's built in the system. So that will help you come over. But right now as well, when you pose a question into that world, into Thread, that question is almost on everybody's page now because they're still trying to build everything up. Mm-hmm. I know, especially the first day, you had random people just on your page all day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so the algorithm wasn't doing this thing, basically.
Right. So it'd be great right now because you're posing a question that people can feed off and people can answer. Mm-hmm. And that could build and bring more people to the podcast. Okay. Just because people might want to answer that question because that's what Twitter is. Mm-hmm. Twitter is a place of questions and mess. Yeah. And so you could get to that. You could ask questions like that. What's your favorite Black moment in history or a Black moment in fashion? Right. And people giving that could be the thing that pops y'all off way past 5. Okay. So just throw it there. Okay.
All right. Good. That we got some great advice.
Yeah, some great advice. So thank you, man. We appreciate you. Enjoy your day. Thanks everybody for tuning into another episode of Got This in Black. Peace.